Hello dear friends, I'm glad to welcome everyone clicking Sotnik-TV icon this moment, joining our stream. It's 7 PM in Moscow and so is in Vilnius. It's August 17th, 2019. I'm glad to welcome all of you. You're doing great watching our channel. I'm happy that more and more subscribers keep joining us. As always, or as usually, let me begin with addressing our current and potential advertisers. Let's cooperate more intensively. Sotnik-TV@gmail.com is the address of our commercial department. Send your requests and all of those will be answered and special offers will be sent to you. So, let's cooperate. Today, I received a footage of a likely high-ranked military officer sent by Defense Ministry to communicate with the citizens of village of Chronicles by the city of Severodvinsk. The video is 30 minutes long, the quality is poor, as it was filmed with a hidden camera. The sound is awful as well, which is understood. I transferred that footage to Alexander Kushnar from Newsader website, and I thank Alexander for decoding it. You can watch the material, I won't retell it, but here's what struck me. The bombers are the state people, and they treat the civilian people just like the state itself treats them. Just like some dumb cattle and some expendable. So on one side they play democracy. That bomber tells the people they can ask any questions, offering to answer as it is and to uncover the truth. But when a specific, even though unpleasant question is asked, the bomber starts raising his voice like, "Wait a minute, hold on, you know nothing, so hold it." He starts asking them, "Have you seen a light radiation? Have you seen a nuclear mushroom? Have you seen a radioactive cloud?" And the story of a nuclear explosion impact effect begins. He tells about a light radiation, a shockwave, and so on. Not even mention the tradition of criticizing Yeltsin at the time of Putin's rule, who is believed to have been permanently drunk and wasted. Let me remind you that at the time of Yeltsin rule, such wild thing as a nuclear explosion couldn't even be imagined. So, drunk and stoned Yeltsin turns out to be more appropriate than vigorous, sane and focused spy Putin. So here's what we knew from the words of that military officer, at least according to that footage. On August 8, 2019, during tests on military side, a missile engine fueled with nuclear isotopes exploded. Military tests of that kind have taken place by Severodvinsk before, even though that was never announced, which means that was covered up. Let me quote that speaker from that video. I believe he was a colonel, as a lieutenant colonel or a major wouldn't do, and a general is too much. Besides, the manner of that officer is not usually used by generals. They are on a different level, and that man is probably a colonel. Quote, "A missile engine testing was held. The engine was fueled with nuclear isotopes. An accident happened that led to an explosion. Yeah, that wasn't a nuclear one, but the one of an explosive. So the explosive was nuclear and the explosion wasn't. The radiation struck only those near the device tested. All injured were first taken to the village of Chronicles for a primary decontamination, which is a radiation removal procedure for all the people and the things from the blast site. You can't get close to the White Sea shore due to a radioactive danger of the pieces formed as a result of the explosion at the testing platform that could be thrown onto the land. Quote, I know that some of you are planning to visit there, so I have to tell you not to do that, as the problems you beware of may occur. That will happen if someone climbs to those pontoons or takes something from the seashore that seems safe at first glance. I will provide the link to that video in the description of this stream. And now let me point out one more thing. Nobody present at that meeting believed the words of that military officer. That is called reputation, the state reputation, that makes nobody trust state people as they can't be trusted. They lie just as the king himself does. Let me ask you why the unsinkable submersible guy didn't visit Severodvinsk himself. Why did he abandon Moscow and wasn't going to return? He doesn't poke his nose in, traveling to Anapa and Sevastopol. What is he afraid of? We understand that the protests have nothing to do with that. He doesn't care behind the armed punishers' backs. May he be scared of a radioactive cloud from Severodvinsk? Has it reached Moscow already? Or is it on its way? Those questions are natural, considering Chernobyl when all the authorities kept silent, and the people in Kiev went for manifestation wearing summer clothes on May 1st, as it was hot, and all their marchers received radiation, up to the chin. That confirms the concerns of them lying, tricking and fooling. Quote, not administration of the hospital, nor Minister of Health officers, nor local officials, nor governor informed the personnel of the patients being radioactive. One of the surgeons from that hospital told over the phone. According to him, the doctors had their own concerns regarding the incident, yet they weren't told to take any safety measures. 4 doctors from Arkhangelsk hospital, including 2 at a senior position, said that the personnel was shocked and outraged by authorities treating medical workers that way. No one of the sources have worked with the people contaminated with radiation directly. However, according to their words, all of them constantly contact those who has treated the victims of the explosion by Severodvinsk. The military left Arkhangelsk hospital personnel not knowing. That is the reason why the local doctors didn't perform an anti-radiation disinfection, called decontamination, and performed procedures without appropriate radiation protection means. While brain and trauma surgeons and resuscitators of Severodvinsk Regional Hospital were called by Federal Security Service and were forced to sign the confidentiality clause regarding the incident. End of quote. Let me ask now, why are Russians supposed to believe official sources, having those treacherously lying or being treacherously silent? Here's another question. Is there a single potentially safe place in modern Russia? Or has it already been turned into some nuclear Titanic with a huge gap and a fire inside its hull? What's gonna happen first to this tremendous thing? Will it first burn entirely and then explode and sink? Or will it simply sink without a thermonuclear blast? This is the second time in a row I have to mention one of the nastiest journalists, Andrei Karaulov. He posted some hysterical video yesterday. howling, warning Putin that a revolution may begin and the context being bad and so on. Let me calm the overreacting guy down. A revolution won't happen, Andrei Karaulov. Russia has entered into an active termination stage with technological disasters. There will be lots of those, awful lot of. The amount will grow bigger each day, until the masses of people run different directions away from that cursed federal center, and the emperor's crown lies on the floor as a result, and no one picks it up, as no one needed the authority of the President of the USSR, because such countries stop existing, and thanks God. That's how Russian Empire will end up. The reason of the collapse won't be revolutionary protests, but the infrastructure deterioration, put to stealing, as the country was stolen, and multiplied by the rate of degrading and madness of those ventures capturing the authority. The empire will end up sadly, but naturally. The Democrats lost in 1991. They were doomed to defeat, because the communist elite results framework were different. They wanted to finally redeploy property and to possess. The battlefield of Russia was occupied by looters. For over 3 decades, the looters have been getting a free ride and rampaging. And now, the tragedy naturally comes to its logical historical end. And there's no pilot's crew able to land this nuclear plane to some cornfield. There's no cornfield itself, as everything has been stolen. So we sit and simply wait for all that to crash. Thank you for spending an hour and 3 minutes of your lives for this speech, for this talk. Thank you for watching Sotnik-TV and promoting the video to trends, despite everything. Please make sure to like it, show it to your friends, colleagues and co-workers, to neighbors, relatives, close ones and acquaintances. Something may click in their head. Someone may reconsider his attitude and change his view of Putinism. More and more often, I receive letters with almost the same words. I've been watching your channel for around 2 years and see that what you predict happens. TV really lies, so I've turned it off. And now, I learn to think with my own brain and to compare what I see to what I feel. That is really important. People start turning their heads on, start thinking and comparing on their own. That is an important function for people that needs to be restored by our channel, among others, while TV is trying to shut it down. Thank you for watching Sotnik-TV. Thank you for supporting us entirely, including finances. The situation is far from simple for us. I may tell you one day of how hard it is for us. Don't take it for me complaining, though. I knew what I was going for. And any journalist that says, I'm not a journo and not a prostitute, I'm a journalist and can't be bought, he knows all these difficulties being in the menu, as well as the risk being in that menu. Thank you for supporting our channel, And please take care of yourselves. Russia came into a very dangerous age of technological disasters. So, please take care of yourselves, of your hearts and souls, and of your close ones. We'll meet in 1 week, next Saturday. Goodbye.